Hello, everybody. Welcome in here to Trending Politics Live once again. Thank you guys, everyone, for joining in today. As you guys know, my name is Clayton Kearns here, and today is Thursday, August 13th. This week is flying by like crazy. It felt like just Monday when we were here, you guys. Things are flying by. Next week is the Democrat National Convention, and you just know that is going to be full of a very, very, let's say, entertaining material that we're going to talk about all next week. So make sure to join me also next week on these live streams, because we're going to be talking about the Democrat National Convention and the things that are said there all week. Now that we know Kamala Harris is Joe Biden's VP, and now that we know all these things, it is going to be very, very interesting. So in today's live stream, what we're going to talk about is the tragic death of 5-year-old boy Cannon Hinnot, who was tragically killed. We'll talk about that and how the media is really ignoring the situation. We're going to talk about President Trump and him striking a historic peace deal between Israel and the United States Emiratis. And then we're also going to discuss Kamala Harris, and we're going to take a little bit of a flashback to probably one of the cringiest moments and cringiest answers that you could ever possibly imagine. You're going to want to wait to see that, because you're not going to believe what she said, okay? It's pretty crazy. But first, let's start off here, everyone. There was a 5-year-old boy, and this actually happened a couple days ago, but didn't really start making the big media rounds until yesterday. So in North Carolina, a young boy, 5 years old, his name was Cannon Hinnot, was shot in the head by an older man, by a man who was 25 years old. And this young boy was riding his bike with his sisters. He was enjoying the day. We still don't have any motive, but it doesn't matter. There is no motive. There's no reason in the world, justifiable reason, that this young boy right here had to be killed. A North Carolina man has been charged with walking up to a 5-year-old boy playing outside and shooting him in the head, according to a report. Darius Sessoms was taken into custody Monday and charged with first-degree murder in the death of the boy Cannon Hinnot in Wilson, North Carolina. Sessoms and the boy's father were next-door neighbors. Cannon was at his father's house on his bike Sunday afternoon when he was shot in front of his two sisters, who were 7 and 8 years old. This is the suspect, Darius Sessoms. Thankfully, he is in custody, and this is just a huge, huge tragedy. Now, everyone, please understand is that if any of you have not heard about this, it's because the media hasn't focused on it at all. Mainstream networks have not focused on this at all. Let's take a look for a Google search of Cannon Hinnot, New York Times, and what you will find now let me see if I can blow this up for you guys. Let me see how that looks to you. Okay, so you type in Cannon Hinnot, New York Times, and it shows up their recent tweets, none that mention the young boy. And when you look online, it just shows you reports from other news networks. The New York Post covered it. Other conservative sites covered it. But other than that, the New York Times has not covered it. Okay, now let's go over to a search of CNN. When you type in Cannon Hinnot, CNN, the media isn't talking about it. So let me go back here. Let me share this with you. Let me expand it. When you type in, this is a live search, by the way. I just did this right before we went live, so it's not like I'm taking screenshots. Nothing comes up. Local ABC stations, guys. The only people covering this are local stations for the most part. Now, Fox News was the one that I showed you to open this story with, and they talked about it. But it's obviously clear here is that, many people have said this, and I'm not going to be taking shots at too many groups or taking shots at the left, doing anything like that. This right here is just to bring awareness to it, because there is so much silence about it. And we know why there's so much silence about it, because this story doesn't fit their narrative. This story doesn't, give them that juice that they need to really rile up their fan base, their far left readers. And so this is a very, very, very sad situation. Now, we just put up a story on trendingpolitics.com about it. And, go ahead and read that. We are going to be updating the post very soon with his GoFundMe. His family has started a GoFundMe, everyone. And I can only imagine, like I've had family members pass away, and we all know how hard it is to focus on real life when you have this gnawing truth in your head, this truth of your young child passing away. I've never experienced in my life something this tragic, but I can only imagine what this will do to their psyche for the rest of their lives. So we're going to post a link to the GoFundMe, but if you want to just do a Google search, it's the first one that pops up. Just type in Canon Hinnot or type in Justice for Canon GoFundMe. So far, it's already raised $153,000. This was started by his local family. Many people are being very, very generous. Again, if you have it in your heart to give, this is a terrible situation. And I've seen some people say, "Oh, well, why do they need all that money?" Well, I mean, George Floyd's family raised like over $10 million after he passed away. So helping out this family, his parents, the rest of his family during this time, so where they don't have to worry about economics right now, I think would be a very, very good thing. So if you feel entitled or inclined to give, then go on Google. We're also going to be posting a link to it in our on trendingpolitics.com in our article, but we haven't updated that part of the article just yet. Okay. So everyone, keep spreading awareness, keep talking about this. As I said before, CNN, New York Times, MSNBC, a lot of these top networks are not talking about it. They're not talking about it at all. And the first story to break about this was actually 3 days ago. The reason why we're just bringing it to you here is because I just heard about it for the first time on a video last night. So I knew that I needed to bring this to you guys. But it's a very, very, very sad situation, and very few people are talking about it. So we got to keep spreading the awareness. Talk about it on social media, and just, this is just a big thing that we need to talk about. Okay. So with that said, please go ahead. If you feel inclined to give to this young man's family. Type in Justice for Canon on Google, type in Justice for Canon GoFundMe on Google, and that will pop up. Okay, everybody. So comment below, prayers out to his family, to rest in peace to Canon. We hope for the best. We hope for the best for his family. It's a very, very sad situation. And, we will keep you updated on this story. So he was taken in, charged with first-degree murder. Again, he walked right up to the little child and did this to him. So, I think that is grounds. He appeared to be very deliberate about it. So let's see how this all turns out. Okay, everyone. So as sad as that is, we're gonna have to shift gears here a little bit. Okay, we're gonna shift gears here. There is other news that has broke. As many of you guys may have heard, President Trump has brokered a deal between United Arab Emirates and Israel. Now, this is the first peace deal that has been reached with Israel and another major Arab nation since 1994. Okay, this is not something that just happens every now and then. Okay, this is not just something that happens every few years. This is a huge deal, and somehow the left is still finding a way to point out something negative about it. I mean, I know that doesn't shock anybody, but yes, the left is still, even though this is a peace deal, they are still trying to find something negative with it. So President Trump struck this deal earlier today, and we're going to show you some reaction for it. The first thing I want to show you is the announcement itself, because this is a huge deal. Everyone likes to say that Trump is starting World War III and all that stuff. Guys, that couldn't be further from the truth. All President Trump has done is de-escalated tensions with North Korea, de-escalated tensions with the Middle East, gotten an embassy in Jerusalem, and now this peace deal between the United States and Israel. So if everyone here, if you guys think that President Trump should win the Nobel Peace Prize, my God, you have Barack Obama win a Nobel Peace Prize, and he bombed the hell out of the Middle East, okay? So if you think that President Trump should win a Nobel Peace Prize, what I want you to do is like this video, but also comment below Trump Nobel Peace Prize, or Trump should win the Nobel Peace Prize 2020, whatever you want to comment there below. So here's a couple parts I want to point out about this. So here's the announcement. President Donald J. Trump, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the United Arab Emirates, spoke today and agreed to the full normalization of relations between Israel and the United Arab Emirates. This is important, everybody, okay? Please pay attention. This historic diplomatic breakthrough will advance peace in the Middle East region and is a testament to the bold diplomacy and vision of the three leaders and the courage of the United Arab Emirates and Israel to chart a new path that will unlock the great potential in the regions. So here's where we're going to get into some specifics, okay? Delegations from Israel and the United Arab Emirates will meet in the coming weeks to sign bilateral agreements regarding investment, tourism, direct flights, security, telecommunications, technology, energy, healthcare, culture, the environment, the establishment of reciprocal embassies, and other areas of mutual benefit. Opening the direct ties between two of the Middle East's most dynamic societies and advanced economies will transform the region by spurring economic growth, enhancing technological innovation, and forging closer people-to-people relations. A win all around. Many praise on Twitter here. Right here, Jack Posobiec says, peace between the UAE and Israel is legitimately a serious accomplishment, regardless of which party is in office. Okay, you have Scott Adams here saying nothing is funnier than watching CNN trying to turn a Middle East peace deal into some kind of Trump mistake. It will take all of their disinformation talents to pull this one off. So CNN is already downplaying it. We're going to show you some reaction. It says, for all the naysayers, critics, and mockers who ridiculed President Trump for his strategy to bring peace to the Middle East, I will be serving heaping portions of crow throughout the week. Yum, yum. And then you have Tim Pool say, I am in no way surprised that the resistance still can't give Trump one good day. Think about this. This is why people don't trust them. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, but anything and everything Trump does is suddenly wrong to the left. That's pretty much how it is. And then Mohammed bin Zayed tweeted out, during a call with President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu, an agreement was reached to stop further Israeli annexation of Palestinian territories. And so agreement there on all fronts. And then you also had, I had another tweet here, but I forgot to upload it here to the site. So what I want to do is bring up some video reaction. Now, everyone, you would think that this kind of historic peace deal would be something to talk about, something to celebrate even, right? Well, not if you're MSNBC. They discussed it, but it's almost as if this MSNBC host was kind of bitter about it. Look at his face. It's almost as if he's trying to contain his disgust. I mean, we just secured a huge peace deal. That's a huge step in the Middle East. And look at this MSNBC host.
Oh, we have been watching and listening to President Trump there in the Oval Office, flanked by his Treasury Secretary and his senior advisor, who also happens to be his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. And it would seem as if a diplomatic breakthrough has happened. Israel and the United Arab Emirates have normalized ties. Let's bring in my colleague, MSNBC anchor Ayman Mohyeldin.
Do you see that? Oh man, it appears that a breakthrough has happened in a peace deal. His national, one of his staff members, who happens to be his son-in-law, really, MSNBC, really, like Tim Pool said, you're not going to give President Trump one good day, one, pat on the back. Hey, great job. No, they don't want it. Now let's kick it over to Fox News and show you how it's really done. Show you how you're really supposed to celebrate an accomplishment.
You like or dislike President Trump, this is a massive foreign policy win for the Trump administration. Normalizing ties between the UAE and Israel appears to be the first step in what the White House is hoping will look like momentum for the region to try to work towards a peace agreement that will be, as Jared Kushner described there in those remarks, untraditional. I interviewed Jared Kushner last summer in Bahrain during this conference in Manama, where you had all of these Arab states coming to the table except the Palestinians. And it appeared that this plan would ultimately deteriorate and that nothing would come out of it. But it looks like the Trump administration has basically made something out of nothing. And what we are seeing now today, the normalization of ties between the UAE and Israel, isn't just a diplomatic win where you are going to see now flights between places like Tel Aviv and Abu Dhabi, but also a security win. First, when you look at the Palestinians, what the president has effectively done in the short term is avoid a new round of conflict between the Israelis and Palestinians. When you look back at that July 1st deadline, it appeared like the region was headed towards conflict because Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, was going to move forward with annexation plans. This new agreement will freeze those plans. Additionally, when you look at the Iranian regime, the key enemy of the Israelis, you have to look at the strategic location of the UAE. Right across the Persian Gulf sits the UAE from Iran. So right now you are going to have a key U.S. ally and now a friend of Israel as a result of this agreement.
Guys, this is just an amazing thing. You know, I mean, I know many of you guys believe in prophecy, biblical prophecy. I'm just saying that there is something special happening with this Trump administration, you guys. Despite all the media lies, the slander, everything happening, guys, President Trump is pulling off things that nobody ever thought he could. I mean, helping out with Israel. I mean, he is a true friend to Israel. And it is amazing. A lot of people ask me in the comments for the link. You guys go to trendingpolitics.com. Let me share my screen with you here. Go to trendingpolitics.com. One of our writers here just got up a story. So if you guys go to trendingpolitics.com, it's right here where it says breaking Trump brokers historic peace deal on the right side of the screen. Brokers historic peace deal between Israel and the United States Emirates. And so it's right here for you guys to check it out, okay? For any of you who are asking for the link to read more about it. But guys, amazing things are happening in the Trump administration. As I told you before, the media is trying to stop you. They're trying to kill your enthusiasm so that you don't vote for President Trump. Always remember what's happening. Always remember the good things. Always remember what happened before this freight train of the coronavirus, the Chinese coronavirus, came into our country, okay? So we got to remember that, everybody. Make sure that you remember those things, okay? Now, I want to finish off this live stream with a very interesting video. Very, 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 very interesting video. Now, full disclosure, this video was from a month ago. This was before Kamala Harris, was obviously selected as vice president candidate for Joe Biden. Stephen Colbert had Kamala Harris on his show. And this is around the time where there was speculation that she would be the vice presidential candidate. Well, Stephen Colbert basically said, you guys were going at it during the debates. You threw some haymakers. What changed? Because you guys seem to be buddies now. She gave the worst answer in human history, and she gave the cringiest answer in human history. Kamala Harris, I don't even want to preview it for you. Let me just set the stage for you. Stephen Colbert asked how you guys could be just such stark adversaries on the debate stage and now best buddies. And here is what cringy Kamala had to say.
His teeth were like chiclets all over the stage. And now I believe you that you're fully supportive of him. How does that transition happen? How do you go from being such a passionate opponent on such bedrock principles for you, and now you guys seem to be pals?
It was a debate.
Even he
Not
doesn't buy it.
everybody landed punches like you did, though.
It was a debate.
So you don't mean it?
It was a debate. That the whole reason, literally, it was a debate. It was called a debate.
I understand.
Traveled to the debate. There were journalists there covering the debate where there would be a debate.
In those debates.
8 times. 8 times Kamala Harris said it was a debate. She clearly had no response whatsoever to this question. Now, to be fair, this was before she was actually selected, so it's not like she probably went into this interview with a bunch of prep. But oh my God, can your answer get any more cringy than that? She clearly doesn't believe what she's saying right there. She's just on repeat mode, robotically regurgitating different things. It was a debate. It was a debate. So are you telling me you didn't mean all those things? When you were trashing Joe Biden for being against desegregation in the 70s, you didn't mean all those things? When you were trashing Joe Biden for supporting mass incarceration and racist policies, you didn't mean all those things? Or was it just a debate? So now when you go debate Mike Pence, is that just a debate? Anything you say against Mike Pence is just all there? Which way is it, Kamala? Which way is it? So that is your cringy video of the day. And it was something for the ages, I can tell you. So, guys, just grab your popcorn because many, many more moments like that are bound to come up here pretty soon. So keep an eye on that, everybody. But hey, thank you guys all for joining me today. I'm going to be back tomorrow for our last broadcast of the week. Guys, I can't believe this, but tomorrow's already going to be episode 20. Episode 20 of Trending Politics Live, you guys. And I just appreciate every single one of you for jumping on here with me every single day. Make sure to always go to trendingpolitics.com for all the latest stories. We're getting a bunch of new stories up today. And also go to ilovemyfreedom.com. We've got a lot of amazing items for you guys. Pro-Trump merchandise. We've got, face coverings. You guys, a lot of people, in a lot of states, you can't even go into a store without a face mask. So we've got you covered there. We've got all American-made T-shirts made in the USA, face masks made in the USA, hats, shirts, coins, all these great things for you guys. If you want to do that, go ahead and do that. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys once again so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow at the same time, okay? That's going to be 12 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys all have an amazing rest of your day. Talk to you soon.